Skyward Sword is a game filled with beauty, adventure, and puzzles. It's everything you'd expect from a Legend of Zelda game, and yet, I hate it. I hate it with all my heart, and this is why. In order to understand how bad the bad truly is, let me tell you about what I love in this game. The world is beautiful, vibrant, alive. It's filled with enemies and wildlife and plants that seem to come to life and truly live in the world that Skyward Sword has created. The characters are no exceptions to this, each showing individuality and goofy characteristics that fit perfectly into this world. It's one of those games that looks cartoony, but not in a bad way. It's a style that supports itself, showing how much care was put into every detail of the ever-expanding world. The goofy, cartoony nature is only a mask, and layered beneath is environmental storytelling and pieces of a long-lost history that are both intriguing and wonderful to look at. The story is another plus. It doesn't feel super unique, but it does tell the classic hero's journey in a few surprising ways. You're told that you are the hero, but Impa, Zelda's mentor, sees you as an unworthy child, not seeing your true potential until you offer your life to allow their escape. There's a few twists and turns in the story, but it's the history of how the Skyland came to be that I found the most intriguing. While the people of Skyloft have built a life that seems to be prosperous upon a floating island, it turns out that the island was made as an ultimate defense against the evils who wanted to capture the Triforce and kill the goddess that had taken refuge through Zelda's lineage. Like I said, it's not too unique, but it was well told throughout the entire game, and it hooked me pretty well. The biggest praise I have for this game is the music. It's beautiful, and I mean beautiful. Each new location, each new melody, heck, even just flying around on your big dumb bird gives you incredible songs. These tracks are filled with emotion, helping the player feel as though they were in that moment, experiencing what Link is feeling, whether it be frustration or joy or loss, or just the feeling of the wind going through your hair as you're riding on this big dumb bird. The music brings everything together for me, helping support the world and the characters and the story to such an incredible degree that I almost like this game. Almost. This may be my favorite original soundtrack from a video game that I have ever experienced. It's seriously that good. And yet, I hate this game. I almost quit dozens of times, and it's only due to my stubborn rage that I ever finished it. While story and world building and music are important aspects of a game, it fails on the most important part of any video game: the controls. This game was originally marketed on the Wii and recently remastered for the Switch. This review is for the Switch title specifically, so I have no clue how the Wii version compares, but the motion controls in this game are finicky at best and flat broken at the worst. This game requires precision in rapid moments constantly throughout the game. There's an option to turn off motion controls, but that locks your camera behind a multi-button scheme that halts the flow of combat to such a severe degree that I have to admit, motion controls are the way to play. But that doesn't mean they're good. In fact, they're awful. Throughout my playthrough, it was clear that no playtesting was done, because I doubt any playtester had ever finished this game and said, "Oh yeah, that felt nice to play." Consistently, sideswipes and diagonal slashes were read as stabs or downstrikes, while stabs were often completely eaten controls altogether. You need to use both hands to wield your shield at times, but the forward motion of your shield is also the motion to roll. This caused problems constantly, to the point that shield play felt like a chore instead of a utility. While aiming your bow or sling or claws or whatever, the sensor constantly forgot where my last input was, forcing me to reorient during stressful moments and pulling me out of the immersion that the music and the story had done so well to put me in. And don't even get me started on the bombs in this game. You have two main options: throw the bomb or bowl the bomb. You'd think that the motion for throw and bowl are different enough for the game to distinguish, but far too often would I bowl a bomb into an object that I meant to throw over, and vice versa. Calling this game a remaster and charging a full $60 price tag is insulting when it's clear that this game is a barely updated port from a 2011 title on a console that died in 2012. The biggest frustration I have with this game is how easy it would be to fix. Allowing the player to remap their controller would fix this issue entirely, but apparently Nintendo didn't want you to experience the game this way, with joy or, any happiness whatsoever. Instead, they chose to allow frustration to be your motivator. It's a shame. This game could easily be my new favorite Zelda title. The pieces are all there, it just failed in the most crucial step. It has so much potential that felt wasted on such a terrible control scheme. And that's the real reason why I hate Skyward Sword. If you want to see just how angry this game really made me, then click right over here. Don't be scared. There's a lot of yelling, but it's not a scary video. It's just me being mad at this game, which I hate. Zoraldo.